Hi everybody, so today what we're going to do is to show you how to install three or four add-ins for Excel for decision analysis. Okay. Now there are not a lot, but there are many different decision analysis, decision tree, and markup model software packages. The reason why we're using this specific software is because it's simple to use. It has a simple interface. It's not expensive. Again, I have no disclaimer. I don't have anything with the company. But it's a nice piece of software. So, and it works through Microsoft Excel. So, in my opinion, that's a big plus. So, first thing that you do is very important. I'm going to be using the 2003 version of Microsoft Excel because I know it works well with these three software add-ins. And I know I've heard it works with 2007. I tried with 2010, the latest version of Microsoft, and I couldn't get it to work, which doesn't mean it doesn't work. It's just that I could not get it to work. So basically, these files, they are add-ins. They look like regular Excel files, but they are not. So you basically have to install them. So the way you install this in Excel 2003 is that you go to Tools, Add-ins, and then here you are going to have a list of available add-ins. Now, because in my Excel I have already installed them previously, they are listed here. So the software package is RiskSim, SensIt, and Treeplan Decision Tree. Now I am going to pretend that I didn't have it, and then we're also going to install something that comes with Excel natively if you install the full version. This is extremely important. Whenever you do the install for Excel, you have to install absolutely everything. So in the 2003, you have to select when you're installing Excel, run everything from computer. Otherwise, this solver is not going to work. So before we make the installation, let me just tell a little bit about what each one of these things do. So Solver, which is the one that comes along with Microsoft Excel, does something called linear programming. I'm going to stop short here. I'm not going to tell what linear programming does because we're probably going to have some videos, but I can just tell you that this is essential for tree decision model. The second one is a package called Treeplan. And Treeplan basically allows you to create decision trees. And hopefully we're going to have some other videos later about decision trees. Then there is something, I always forget the name, called RiskSim. RiskSim does simulation. So basically it does what we call Monte Carlo simulation, which comes from the city of Monte Carlo, Formula 2. And then third, we have something called SensIt. That's how it's spelled, capital I. And SensIt does sensitivity analysis. Again, later on, we're going to see what each one of these things mean. Okay, but back to the installation. Well, what you do is this. Let's just pretend that I didn't have any of these software packages. Now, Solver will be here, okay, if you have done the installation of Excel properly, but the other ones are not. So, assuming that you don't have any of the RiskSim, SensIt, or Treeplan, what you do is that you hit Browse, okay. It's going to take you to a folder called Add-ins. Now, you can put the three installation files for these three add-ins in here. Reality is, Excel doesn't really care where you have put them. I have put mine on my C drive. So basically, I come over here and then I select the first one, click OK. In my case, because I have installed it before, it's going to tell me that it already exists, blah, 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 blah. But in your case, it would add RiskSim. And I do the same thing for the other two. It's kind of a pain because you have to navigate every time. To do edit SensIt. And now adding the last one, which is Treeplan. Now I already have them added here, and each one of them is checked. And then I'm also going to select solver because it's going to be important for decision analysis, and I click OK. Thanks for a while. And then, okay, it's working. So let me tell you what I just did. So in order to test to see whether Treeplan, which is the primary one we're going to be dealing with, at least in the beginning, was installed, basically what I do is to click on Control-Shift-T. T is in Tony. And then if I click New Tree, it's basically going to give me a tree. Later on, we're going to see this. Well, let's do this now. I'm going to show you some of the. So if you've got this, you're in good shape. Okay, so basically you're up and running. This is a small tree. And later on, we're going to go over the details. But let me just tell you that this function that we just used, called Control-Shift-T, is going to be the primary way by which you're going to interact with Treeplan. So, for example, if I click on this terminal node here, and I click on, again, Control-Shift-T. So the only command you have to know, well, not the only, but the main, one of the main ones. Let's say, I want to change this to an event node. And I click here, change to event node, and I want to have 2 branches. And I click here, it will show you the little circle. Now, again, I'm not going to go over some of the details of how to put a tree together, but I want to, just make 2 points here in relation to decision trees because, this is the basic. In terms of decision tree notation, you have 3 main types of decision nodes, of which I'm going to cover 2 here, and we'll cover the others later. But the square basically means a decision node. So a decision node is something that a human being will make a decision. So I can go, one path, or I can go another path. This other node, which some people we call it different things, but you can call it a chance node. In a chance node, basically, you have a probability of branch A or branch B happening. Okay, so for example, this could be happening at a probability of say 60%, whereas which is 60% equals 0.6, which would leave us, if you only have 2 branches, with a probability of 0.4 or 40%. As you know, if you only have 2 options, the 2 numbers will have to sum up to 1 or 100%. You have 3 exactly the same thing. Anyway, this video was just to make sure that you had everything installed and running, and then in the next videos we'll cover everything in more detail. Bye.